Okay, this will be my updated Fury Warrior sequence rotation. We'll be testing out the single target build and then the Cleave priority, which the Cleave priority is pretty much Mythic Plus AoE, but the reason I say priority is because you still do executes, which can be a priority on a target if it's one you have to focus down in particular amongst a bunch of ads. I've done some sims here. Let's go here. So as you can see here, we have the 5 target. 2 minutes is what I'm aiming for. Just I find that's the best time for sims. So my goal is to make sure the sequences, as always, are smooth. If there's no like really downtime, I want it to always be casting if it can. Even if it's not always the optimal DPS, it just makes it feels better when the rotation is going as proper. This is what I sim, so my goal is to try and get as close as I can to this. Ideally, I'm happy if I'm within, well, for AoE, as long as I guess I'd be at 1.1, I'd be happy with that. This would be more the single target. 2 minutes, 1 boss. Target dummy is chosen. I'll show you again here just in case. So target dummy, 1 boss, always at 100% health. It's not taking into account any executes other than the ones you get from the procs. And no potions in that. And just run this again, give it the same results. Okay, so we're first testing single target. I'm hoping I can get 420. Would be great, 420,000. Let's see if we can get to that. For talents, be the Raid ST. This you can get off of the WoW head, I believe. Also, Icy Veins has the same build. Max Roll has this using Onslaught, which with the sequence, the more buttons you have, the harder it is, the slower you run the sequence. I run all my sequences, version 1's based at 250 ms, just because it's more human, I guess. 250 ms is 4 presses a second, which isn't too unrealistic. Just some tidbit of knowledge as well. If you plan to run multiple sequences, and then you want to use the same keybind, that can be done. What you'll have to do is when you select a sequence, in this case single target Fury, you select your talent loadout and hit save. For the same one, you select your sequence and your talent loadout as well for whichever other one you want to use. And how it works is whenever you swap talents, if you reload UI, it'll then realize you're using new talents. That's when it like is a check in the background for what talents you're using, and that way it knows what sequence to use. So you can use the same keybind for multiple sequences. And all you have to do is every time you change talents is to reload. Okay. As for my gear, I am 570. I got a few 590 pieces. This is just an alt, so well, I feel like 7th alt, but anyway. I'm doing some gear to him. Not sure how I'm going to take him right now. For now, he's just mostly my blacksmithing tune for professions. Alright, so the goal is 420, maximum 470 is what my sim gets. I doubt we'll ever get to the sim numbers, even manually. That's usually not the case. If most, I'm probably getting like 450 when I'm doing it manually. So 420 is what we're aiming for. We'll see if we can get to that, and also a smooth layout of the sequence. And this is with no modifiers. We're doing version 1. As mentioned, all in previous sequences, all my sequences version 1 I try to use with no modifiers, meaning it's just press the button and go. And it does not include charge, so you have to charge yourself. Just so this way you don't accidentally run into mobs you're not trying to pull here. Alright, here we go, and here's my trinket. We'll go for 2 minutes. And once we're at the end too, I'll compare the amount of executes we got, because that could make a big difference, and also in rage uptime. So 420 is what I want to try to get to in a consistent manner. Is what I'd like to see. Because it could be like one of those attempts where you do one pull or one test and you do amazing, but only because of crits. So I'm seeing 420 as a more consistent number that you should be able to get to without relying too heavily on crits. Because I have actually hit like 450 on this sequence before, but I'm sure that was with a lot of crits and a lot of procs. So that's unrealistic. Okay, 434. Nice, not bad, and it felt pretty smooth. I wasn't having too much downtime, even if the spells aren't good, like slam for example. No one, like I don't even put slam in here, but the sims will show it because there's rare moments where you have really downtime where you have nothing on cool or off cooldown, so you have to press slam pretty much. But I just don't do it. It's tough to do when you're doing such a 250 ms. So. But that was better than expected. I ended at 434, then went to 420 with waiting to get into combat. So I'm happy with that. And if we compare it to the sim here, this one here, yep. So it wanted a 25 crushing blow. So it's crushing blow first, and then rampage. And 25 cast of crushing blow, and then 26 of rampage. And if we check over here, 28. So I did 2 more rampage casts, but I did 2 less crushing blows. So at least this way you can see it's trying to do a proper rotation compared to a WoW. So this is good. I like that. Fortunately, I don't think you'll ever get max, even if you were to use version 2, which is basically the same, but you're having control of your cooldowns by using alt. So that's what I'll be showcasing that now, just because I've seen more people that they only use version 1, and then they're like, oh, I want to do more DPS. Can you help with the sequence? And it's like, well, version 2 is really meant for the more DPS. Reason being is I can use less blocks, so taking up less time, because I can only put the cooldowns on a modifier, so I have to use less blocks for them. Okay, and again, this one version 2 has no charge. You have to do it manually. Everything else is, all your major cooldowns are done with alt. Okay, make sure we're saved there. And we're in version 2. Okay. Oh, and also the downside to not downside, but really the change to it is you're on a cast sequence compared to well, I guess version 1 was on a cast sequence too, so don't worry about that then. So first when we go in, we'll hold alt, it'll do rampage, champion spear, bladestorm, bladestorm. The reason I put rampage here is just because I want to ensure that I'm enraged before going in. Okay, version 2 testing. Go. Getting good on the execute procs for Juggernaut. The sudden death procs, I should say. Okay, hold alt. There goes my bladestorm. Nice, and he caught the Ashton for the sudden death proc. That's good. around, move around. Okay, gonna start holding alt now. Once you cast your spells, you want to let go of alt just so it starts casting other things. Okay, holding alt again because Blade Storm was up. Wrote. $488. We actually beat the sim with version 2. So that's really good. It ended at 467 once we went into combat. So 484 once we jumped out and then finished at 467. So that's actually really good. So version 2 should always be the most DPS just because you have control of when you want to use your cooldowns in such particular moments. Like maybe let's say Mythic Plus you're pulling a pack. Then the tank is doing a chain pull, so he's pulling a pack, he's running away, trying to get the other pack. You want to wait until all those packs are gathered up to use your cooldown. So you'll jump in, you'll do your rotation, but you have control of your cooldown, so you're not just going to use them on one mob while the tank's running with all the other ones. It's not ideal. Usually version 1 I say is best for world content, and maybe some like solo dungeons or delves and stuff like that. So version 1 is by no means bad. As you saw, it does great DPS, but it's when you need cooldown. Version 2 shines, and it does best DPS for when you need your cooldowns for specific moments and like hero cooldown, hero boss fights, stuff like that. So, all right, now we will get into the cleave. Again, now that I have all my sequences with the same keybind and I'm changing talents, I'll have to reload UI. So now GSE knows to use the cleave sequence. And due to using 250 MS with the cleave sequence, I'm actually only using one version. And it is going to have alt modifier, and it's going to have it for the same as version 1 for the single target. Alt modifier is to time your cooldowns properly. I just found it's better. And it became more tough to use it without modifiers because with a 250 MS, you only have so many blocks before it starts to get slow. I found that 2.3 or 2.4 is basically the limit. Any more, here's 2.4. Any more than this, and then at 250 MS, it just gets very slow. You'll have moments where it's trying to go through the whole block before it actually gets something. So I usually don't go any higher than 2.4. If I have to, then I start making cast sequences into the sequence. So in this case, version 2 for cleave, or version 1 is the only version, and you are using modifiers here. You'll find the information here of the version information and what modifiers we'll do here. Okay, let's go. And let's pull this up again. So 1.317 million. Let's aim for 1.1. Hopefully we can get 1.1 with Bloodbath being one of our bigger ones, and then Crushing Blow and Rampage. Okay, so using alt to cast our big cooldowns, and we have to manually charge. So here we go. Okay, let go of alt. You can also see up here when you're with this weak aura for GSE, when you're holding modifiers. See, right now it's just using left click. I'm not using any modifiers. So once my Odin's Fury comes up off cooldown, you'll see for a split second it mentions the left modifier, or left alt, or alt, because I'm using the alt key. Okay, for this one it'll try and do the whirlwinds. Here we go. This weak aura here from Luctos shows how many whirlwind stacks I have. Ideally, I don't like to use any abilities while it's up, but just because of how it works, there will be maybe 1 or 2 abilities that don't cleave. Okay, I'm going to wait till Rampage, so I'm enraged. There we go. Alt. Go. Again, I'm going to wait till the rage happens, and I'm going to Blade Storm here. Here comes, yep, Blade Storm. Again, I held alt for that. Here we go. Hold alt. And I held up for a second, and I let go. Hold alt again. There goes Odin's Fury. Now, the next Blade Storm, depending whether you get 2 minutes, would be dependent upon procs. I didn't get many of Marked for Death, so the Blade Storm cooldown might not be up in time. Yeah, it won't be. So, unfortunately, we got a bit unlucky there. Usually I'd have another Blade Storm before 2 minutes. But we got 1.17. That's really good. Odin's Fury and Rampage. And if we go back here, it's actually quite different. But it should say I should have 18 counts of Bloodbath and 20 of Crushing Blow. If we take a look here, I have 14 and 20 of Rampage. Ooh, my Raging Blow is really low. Wonder what caused that. There's only 7 casts of it. But our DPS is still comparable. Different rotation. So this one wasn't too bad. I would have liked to get higher than the number that we had, which was 1.317, but still not terrible. As you get more secondary stats, it'll probably be the rotation or sequence will probably change slightly to add more GCDs. But right now, less GCDs are better with the less amount of haste we have. Okay, and there is even a thunderous dot there too. Thunderous roar. Okay. All right. If you have any questions, you can reach out to me on the WoW Lazy Macro site or as well on the GSE United Discord. I'll include the links for the Wowhead talent points for Fury that I'd used. Okay, thank you.